Let's bring you the Eddie starting lineup to begin with, brought to you by Waterloo Ford Lincoln. Matt Van Oekel in goal. Zeeby will move to right back today. Watson, the captain, alongside Roberts in the middle. Johan Smith on the left. Eddie Edward just in front of the back four. And then Michael Noni, Granito, Boakai, and Lang across the midfield. Sadi Jalali getting a chance to play up front, the 20-year-old Edmonton youngster. And for San Antonio, Daryl Sattler in goal. The back four of Duro, Atacora, Can, and Marvin Chavez. Then the midfield, Nane, Josue Soto, Cesar Elizondo, Rafael Castillo. And the front two, a dynamic duo, Omar Cummings and Billy Forbes, who got 2 goals the last time San Antonio played Edmonton. That was back at Clark Stadium. San Antonio have trained at this stadium, the SMS Equipment Stadium at Shell Place. They're very impressed with it. It's very nice. It's brand new, and they're pretty happy to be playing here too in this match, the first one in Fort McMurray.
Yeah, there was a few jokes around there that would be nice to airlift a facility like this and plant this somewhere in the vicinity of Clark Field in Edmonton, because wow, this is really quite the facility and a real great asset for this community in Fort McMurray.
Let's take a look at the goalie matchups today here in Fort Mac. Could be an important one. There's Matt Van Oekel getting a chance to play again in goal today for the Eddies, up against Daryl Sattler for San Antonio. 2 experienced goalkeepers, and their performances could be critical today as well.
Keep an eye in the center of the San Antonio defense. I mentioned Adrian Can, but Nana Atacora, former Toronto FC teammates, Canadian national teamers, both of them, and the all-Canadian back line, or the all-Canadian back center of the back for San Antonio.
And we're underway. FC Edmonton attacking the goal to our left. Welcome along if you're watching across the U.S. on ESPN3. Thanks for joining us. From Fort McMurray, Northern Alberta, Canada, FC Edmonton against San Antonio Scorpions. Early throw in for San Antonio and trying to work play down that left wing. Can will play one long over the top. Watson rolls that one back for Van Oekel. Takes a touch and drills it up the right-hand side into touch. Throw in for the Scorpions. Already a couple of early whistles, but both forwards a real handful for San Antonio, Cummings and Forbes, and we saw that in the last game in Edmonton.
Absolutely, they both found the back of the net. They were both very impressive, and Omar Cummings, since coming over to NASL from MLS, has really been an asset for San Antonio. Extremely quick. You have to be aware of him at all times. Loves to press the back 2 defenders. Loves to attack the goalie too. You can't settle with the ball at your feet. And last time we saw San Antonio, we saw a team that gambled a lot. They'll give up scoring chances, but in exchange, they're going to create a lot.
Lang breaking in on the left-hand side here. Goes down, and the referee points to the penalty spot. Penalty given. Jalali playing in Lang. He made the break into the area, and the referee had no hesitation in pointing to the spot there. Not sure about the contact, but
yeah, I think the San Antonio Scorpions are going to feel pretty aggrieved about this one. I'm looking at this again, and we're seeing, does he clip the heel there? We're going to have a look here. That's really hard to tell. But Lang looks back at the referee right away, and there's no hesitation from the official.
Second minute of the match, and it's young Sadi Jalali who is going to step up from the penalty spot to take this kick for FC Edmonton. And he's buried it. Jalali scoring for the Eddies in the second minute. Cool, calm, and collected. Makes no mistake from 12 yards. And FC Edmonton have a very early lead from that penalty decision that San Antonio probably won't like, but it's 1-0.
Jalali played the ball through for Lang, and he gets rewarded with the penalty kick. Has the keeper going the wrong way. And there's the finish to make it 1-0. And really, for a team, FC Edmonton that was plagued by poor starts to games in the first half of the season, it must be a real relief to turn the tables a bit, to feel what it's like to be up 1-0 after a couple of minutes rather than down 1-0 after a couple of minutes, because that certainly was the pattern that we saw with FC Edmonton throughout the throughout the spring season.
Jalali from the penalty spot. We talked to Colin Miller before the game, the Eddie's coach, saying that a goal would do his confidence the world of good. Well, he had no hesitation in picking up the ball and taking the responsibility to take that penalty kick, and sent the goalkeeper the wrong way with practically his first kick of the match. And that is a goal for FC Edmonton, for Sadi Jalali, making a start today with a number of injuries to the front players for FC Edmonton.
I think we have to give Sadi some credit, though, for the great through ball he played to Lang. Now, the argument whether Marvin Chavez made contact with Lang, whether there was a clip of the heel or not, yeah, that's up for debate. What can't be up for debate is the quality of ball that Sadi Jalali provided to Lance Lang to run onto.
Late challenge flying in there on Marvin Chavez, and you could hear it from up here. And he hasn't moved very much since hitting the deck. And Johan Smith is going to get a yellow card for that one in the 4th minute. Now he's walking a bit of a tightrope for FC Edmonton.
But you wonder too, Gareth, and while it's hard to get into the referee's head, to Mr. Rudolph's head, you wonder now with Lance Lang being such an important part, maybe arguably the best player in this league, you know, easily one of the top 3 if we're talking about it league-wide, who are the people who pay to see. That's a reputation call.
Eddie Edward making a nice interception there down the right-hand side. He's playing in a midfield role today, normally slotting in at right back, but getting a chance to play in front of the back 4 today. He's given the ball away there, though. And San Antonio breaking down the left-hand side. Good tackle, though, back by Edward, recovering well and making amends for that misplaced pass. Good break here by San Antonio, and that's going to be taken out of play for a corner kick by Albert Watson, getting rid of that danger for FC Edmonton.
That's the danger of Billy Forbes there. We saw that, how quickly he just scooted along the back line, and then he accelerated. He changes speeds like a race car, the way that he can go from one gear to another. And that's
danger in there, and Van Oekel goes down and makes the claim and gets the free kick as well for FC Edmonton. Well, that Sadi Jalali FC Edmonton goal is another meal for families at the Ronald McDonald House of Northern Alberta, courtesy of Pasta Pantry.
That was Adekora, I think, who had the last touch. He'd come up for the set piece. It slid to get to an awkwardly bouncing ball, and I think got his chest on it to get it towards Matt Van Oekel. And then I think he got the foul called on him afterwards for colliding. But I think good aggressive play there by Nana Adekora there to try to make something happen out of a ball that was really, really difficult to handle.
FC Edmonton with a 1-0 lead here at Shell Place in Fort McMurray, and trying to break again down the left-hand side. Good awareness by Josue Soto to win the ball back, but Lang has it again into the midfield for Edward. Edward just slowing things down, playing it back into the defense. Milan Roberts in possession. Van Oekel playing it long up the right-hand side. Michael Noni getting a chance in there today on the right wing and beaten in the air, but has a throw in for the Eddies. In towards Jalali, takes it down on the chest and plays it nicely back. He's a good player with his back to goal. Slightly different style of forward to the pace and height of Amiobi, but he's tricky and good at holding up that ball and bringing other players into the game. Smith trying to play a ball down the left wing to Granito, who'd made a run, but there's a gap left in his left back position. Soto has a throw in. You can't be offside from a throw, and Cummins has made a nice break down that wing. Put in a good cross as well, but Van Oekel gets there just to jump in front of Billy Forbes. We've already seen in this game Cummings and Forbes linking up well.
It's the speed. You just have to be so aware of it all times. They get one step on you and you're in all sorts of trouble.
Jalali a chance here, another mistake in defense, takes it on his left foot and he's blazed it wide. That was a golden chance for Sadi Jalali to get his second goal in the space of 6 minutes. Can making a mistake, the ball bobbling to Jalali and he just couldn't find the target.
It looked a bit, both Can and Adekora are talking to each other, wondering there, like the communication lapse between the two of them. Looked like they almost got in each other's way there and weren't sure who was supposed to play that ball. Instead, Can came up for it. It bounced, came back off of him and actually bounced right to Sadi Jalali, who paused and shifted it to his left foot and then blasted wide.
Very good chance for Jalali there to double the lead for FC Edmonton, but it remains 1-0. With Soto in the midfield. Watson heading that one away from the danger zone. Break by Duro now. And a good overlapping run here by Forbes. Tackled well by Zibi, whose brother also just signed for FC Edmonton this week, partly because of this injury crisis. They wanted to dress him as a substitute today, and he's wearing number 28 on the bench, Bruno Zibi. Good tackle on the edge of the box by Watson. Chavez looking for the 1-2. Nice ball skills by San Antonio there. The cross headed away though, and Boakai will find Lance Lang. Lang, nice little nutmeg. The crowd enjoyed that one, but his final pass just didn't have enough purchase on it to find Jalali.
Mentioned Bruno Zibi. Yeah, he's been brought into what they call a week-to-week contract. It's basically like an emergency signing that he's been called up from the academy, where his brother's already been promoted from the academy. He's playing today. But as Edmonton deals with his injury crisis, he's going to be here week to week as needed.
And if he's anything like his brother, he's going to be a very good prospect. Alan Zibi looked very, very good since breaking through for FC Edmonton this season.
San Antonio might look for something there when Jalali went into Adekora, but really he should be angry at Josue Soto for that hospital pass that he sent back to him. Awful pass from Soto back to Adekora, putting him in all sorts of danger. That's one where you open yourself up to not just giving the ball away, but injury because of a lazy pass from Soto in that case.
Jalali did go across and apologize for that challenge as well immediately after.
But Jalali's got a fair chance at that ball, and he's got to go for it. And it's really the wisdom of making that pass back.
Yeah, definitely not the best pass, but good sportsmanship on Jalali's part. Holds his hands up there, realizes that he was a touch late. Adekora playing the ball straight through the middle. Nice flick on to Cummings. He's got a chance here. Terrific one-on-one stop by Matt Van Oekel, who robs Cummings with a great save. I think just threw himself at it and maybe kicked it away in the end with his feet, but narrowed the angle down, came out very, very quickly, and that could prove to be a critical stop by Van Oekel. At the other end, here are FC Edmonton on the break. Noni's made a run right to the goal line, couldn't get the cross in towards Lang, who was in space inside the 6-yard box. Good open, entertaining game there, but a very good stop by Van Oekel.
Yeah, both central defenders went for that initial ball in the air and went for the header, and they left that space behind for Cummings, and excellent stop by Van Oekel. And we're gonna have a look here. So the original ball, and both central defenders are up, both Roberts and Watson, and Matt Van Oekel comes off the line, makes a great save. We talked about goalkeeping at the start of the show, and that's a big, big save. We also talked about how when San Antonio and Edmonton seem to play each other, lots of things tend to happen.
The clearest chance of the match for San Antonio moments ago there for Cummings, but a good stop by Van Oekel. Jalali had an equally good chance at the other end that he squandered, but scored before that from the spot. That's the only goal of the game. It's 1-0 at the moment. We've played just about 13 minutes in Fort McMurray. It's a good 1-2 and a tackle by Edward that is a trip on Castillo. San Antonio players perhaps calling for a stricter punishment for Edward. He is going to get a talking to at least by the referee here. And San Antonio will have a free kick when play restarts.
Eddie Edward today playing not in his normal right-back position. He's playing in midfield as the lineup has to be shuffled. And it looks like he is only getting a talking to. But again, as Edmonton deals with a lot of their injury issues, Edward has been shuffled into that spot alongside Thomas Granito in the midfield, basically 2 in front of the back 4.
Castillo standing over the ball. Chips it up left-footed, and it's a poor free kick. Soto lifts it over the top again. That will be headed away by Roberts. Nane back in towards the penalty area. Watson wins that header. Benito tackled, and Soto now plays it wide to the right. Cummings has got an overlapping run, but shifts it onto his right foot and tries the cross up to the far post. But Van Oekel again, good clean pair of hands as he catches that one going down to his right.
Van Oekel, that ball was going to drift wide, but I think he was just making sure that ball didn't fall.
That's a massive kick by Van Oekel. It bounces in the penalty area, and it'll, well, he's basically hit that ball about 90 yards, and it takes one bounce before Sattler picks it up.
You know, that was the reason that FC Edmonton signed Matt Van Oekel, was because of that big leg, that ability to create offense from his own penalty box. The Scorpions today, it's worth noting, to get up here to Fort McMurray, for people in Texas watching, this is not very close to Edmonton. If you're thinking that it might be something like a suburb or something like that, no, it's about 5 hours more by car north. 4,000 kilometers to get here. That's quite a road trip. It's like the old Puerto Rico days when Edmonton had to go out to Puerto Rico to play games. And I guess will next year again, with Puerto Rico coming into the league. But yeah, for our viewers in the United States watching today that aren't familiar maybe with Fort McMurray, it's well into the north part of the province, northeastern corner of Alberta. And it's about an hour to fly here from Edmonton, maybe a little bit more than an hour.
About 400 and some kilometers north of Edmonton. Known for its oil and gas, but the population's dropped quite a bit from about 100,000 to about 70 because of the tanking price of oil. So the economy not as hot as it was when the plans were revealed for this $130 million stadium. Lang was almost away on the left-hand side there, but control just letting him down, and it's going to be a throw-in for San Antonio. Edward gets his head on that ball, but drops in the midfield again, and here is Cummings trying to get away down the right-hand side. That's just overhit, and it'll be a throw-in for the Eddies.
Cummings was wincing there because he knew if he would have turned a second earlier, he would have been down the wing and had a really good chance with a run. Just turned a little too late to react to that ball. He's one of those players who's got a smile on his face right now. He's one of those players, I remember this from following him when he played with the Colorado Rapids, is if he has a smile on his face, he's dangerous. It means he's feeling it, he's feeling good.
Smith with the throw here. Picks out Jalali again, good control, and gets the ball back to Smith. Granito has support on his right-hand side. Boakai there. Just couldn't get the ball out of his feet. Good tracking back by Michael Noni, getting a chance to start today. Picks out Boakai, who's brought down there. And that's a free kick to the Eddies. And after this match, handsome Boakai, he's another that will be heading off to another tournament, but the Pan Am Games, where he'll represent Team Canada.
Yeah, the eye towards the Olympic program, playing for Olympic qualification down the road.
Oh, well played by Smith, gets around the outside and gets hauled back by Soto. That'll be a yellow card, you would expect, pulling him over. Yeah, referee awards the yellow to Soto, and a free kick for FC Edmonton. Great ball over the top by Roberts to release him, and then did extremely well to keep the ball in and get around his man. And a good situation here as well for the Eddies.
Absolutely, Lang will take this. See Albert Watts and Milan Roberts up to attack this from their center back positions. But yeah, Josue Soto had a whole bunch of Johan Smith's jersey.
Lance Lang builds it up to the far post, and it's headed behind. No chances being taken there, and that's good defensive play. It's going to be a corner from the right wing.
It was Atakora who just guided that into safety, making sure. Lance Lang will be flying to Los Angeles tomorrow morning. So from Fort McMurray all the way down to Los Angeles to join the Jamaican national team as they prepare for the Gold Cup.
Lang's corner goes to the near post, and very well defended by Soto. Eddie's trying to win it back on the edge of the area, but San Antonio coming away with the ball with Billy Fords. That's going to be Zeeby playing it all the way back for Van Oken. Approaching the midway point of the first half at a 1-0 lead, a Sadi Jalali penalty in the second minute, the difference between the teams. Granito trying to turn the ball around the right-hand side. Lang has stayed out there since taking the corner. Just gets nicked away from him, back to the goalkeeper, and good calm clearance by Sattler. Watson winning the header, and Lang flicking it along. It's controlled by Atakora, but it drops in the midfield for Edward, and he plays it out wide to the right wing. Zeeby's come forward for this one. Has to check back, though, and loses out there. The throw-in been given to San Antonio.
Yeah, Lang and Noni haven't had the chance to switch back yet. And it doesn't necessarily look like they're really going to switch back, actually. Michael Noni just looked back at Colin Miller saying, am I staying out here? And I saw Colin Miller was shouting directions. And it looks like for now, Lang is going to stay out on the right side. But Noni looked over to check with his coach. And yep, they're going to hold this.
Noni's made a run on the left-hand side. Here he is. Very nearly dropped for him nicely there from that through ball by Boakai. But it didn't quite work out, but maybe that's why he's moved over to the left. Now they are switching back again.
Switch back now. I know there's an argument, like I've talked to Colin Miller in the past, and he mentioned about using Lance Lang on the right side, possibly saying he loves the idea of when you move inside, you're on your shooting foot and you cut in.
Edward finding Michael Noni. Nice 1-2, tidied play. Boakai skips over a challenge and just pokes it too far, and it's picked up by Sattler. That looked good for a moment for FC Edmonton. Cummings using his speed at the other end, keeps the ball in play, but then takes it out, and the throw-in will be for the Eddies.
The line of 4 attackers there in that last FC Edmonton attack with Boakai pushing that ball. The through ball just had a little too much on it.
Cummings again trying to get in on the right-hand side. Foul against Johan Smith, and the free kick.
That was well done by Johan Smith. He established position on the ball, shielded it. Cummings puts the arm on Johan Smith's shoulder. That's well done by the fullback. establish the position. Don't let your attacker get by you.
Very nice conditions in Fort McMurray today, about 21 Celsius, around about 70 Fahrenheit. Slight breeze, not too hot, but the sky's clear. The rain yesterday, I think, helping get rid of the smoke from all the forest fires in northern Canada. There's Smith, nice forward ball to Lang. Lang will thread this one through to Jalali. He's onside, another chance here. Great save by the goalkeeper. Getting down low to his left and denying Jalali, who could have had a hat-trick in the first 23 minutes. It's still his penalty kick is the difference between the teams. That was a really good chance.
But a very good run. Great off-the-ball work by Jalali to start the run, and then a great pass by Lang, and well done by the keeper. Get his hand to it. Jalali tried to place it by him, going for the far corner. But Saadi Jalali's been very lively in the first 23, 24 minutes of this game. Very encouraging signs from the young striker.
Colin Miller talked about him having a football brain and good intelligent runs he's been making in that forward position today for FC Edmonton.
That run was as perfectly timed as you could make it. And Lang picked up on it. As soon as he saw the heels move of Saadi Jalali, he let that ball go and said, here.
Here's Lang again, left-hand side, and that's very good defending on that occasion by Marvin Chavez. And he actually wins the throw-in to boot for San Antonio. Right down by the Eddie's bench. It's a good long throw as well up the wing. But well claimed by Eddie Edward. Watson playing a pass up the right-hand side. Noni's got some ground to make. He made it, but Dero muscled him out of the way. And it's Dero in possession now for San Antonio. It's a misplaced pass that Jalali will run onto. Boakai's up in support. Jalali just running it too far, and Adrian Can taking the ball away from him. But San Antonio have given it away again, a little bit sloppy there. And Lang has possession. Jalali's wide on the left. He's got Noni at the far post, Boakai at the near post. Chooses to find Lang. Lang with the out-swinging cross. Picked up again by Eddie Edward, and Michael Noni will get that. Noni checks infield to the edge of the penalty area. Here's Granito to the far post. That's just too far for Jalali, but he'll try and win the ball back for FC Edmonton. Good spell here for the Eddies. San Antonio just looking a little bit off the pace in defense.
Some poor giveaways in their holding midfield area from San Antonio. Joseph Nane with a couple of poorly placed passes that gave the ball back to FC Edmonton after San Antonio's defenders won the ball back. And, you know, you work so hard to win the ball back, and then you give it away so cheaply. That's just got to drive the coach nuts.
And it all started with Elizondo, who's in possession here, giving the ball away, and Boakai making that break forward for the Eddies. Good commitment so far from FC Edmonton. They're winning the 50-50 battles, but just gave the ball back there to San Antonio. Van Oekel just watching that one out on his left foot to Johan Smith. Plays it back from Matt Van Oekel, and safety first. He just drives it into touch. Van Oekel coming out to playing that ball through by Castillo. Made one very good save in this first half, a one-on-one against Cummings. Again, kicks out of his hands. Deep into San Antonio territory, headed away by Atakora. Cummings, nice eye for a pass over the top of Zeebe. He's picked out Forbes beautifully as he ran onto that ball. Good tackle by Zeebe, though. Takes the ball cleanly away from Forbes and picks out Noni. Nothing wrong with that from Dero, just got in the way of Noni, who's complaining to the referee, but that was good defending. FC Edmonton with a 1-0 lead. Goalkeeper has to play that one. It was a back pass, and it's easily picked up again by the Eddies. Here's Boakai. Onto his left foot. Poor pass in the end by Hansen Boakai, trying to pick out Sadi Jalali. Roberts, very safe clearance by him. Throw in for San Antonio. Looked a bit like a foul throw there, but the referee lets play go on. It's going to be headed back to Van Oekel by Zeebe.
I would lose count of the amount of times I thought in the game there was a foul throw and that didn't get called. It's sort of like traveling in the NBA. If you started calling all the foul throws, there'd be a lot of trouble in this game.
Yeah, things have changed. They don't spot them as much these days. Roberts comes out of defense and makes the challenge on Nane. Can turning around, playing it back to his goalkeeper. Into Sattler's left foot, intercepted by Edward. Finds Zeebe in support of him. Eddie's going backwards though, all the way to Van Oekel. He'll clear that first time, gets it up to halfway. Boakai winning the header. Ball in the air a lot at the moment. Mane eventually winning that game of head tennis.
One thing I've noticed here, Gareth, in this half is FC Edmonton, especially in the midfield, really trying to close down the time and space, really trying to press San Antonio.
Great tackle there by Edward, and puts the Eddies back on the offensive. In the end, Edward penalised, gets a yellow card. He'd got a talking to earlier in the game, and that time was one too many for the referee.
Yeah, he was walking the tightrope, considering that the referee, Mr. Yusri Rudolph, had spoken to him earlier, as you said, on a challenge earlier in the match, and decided this time, got to go in the book.
Roberts playing a nice ball over the top. Smith just won't get to it. Just past the half-hour mark, the Eddies leading 1-0 against San Antonio. Elizondo trying to get in around the back four, and he's got a chance here to shoot with the left peg. Straight at Matt Van Oekel in the end. But the Eddies' defense split open far too easily there.
Almost like with that ball in the air, the Milan Roberts, like a receiver, looked over the wrong shoulder and got caught. You see that in football. I'm talking the other kind of football, where you have a defensive back or a wide receiver who looks over the wrong shoulder, and then the other player is able to get inside. And that time, I think Elizondo was able to get inside. Roberts looked over, and the ball came down the other side of him. And allowed Elizondo the separation he needed from Milan Roberts and the ability to scoot over to the middle of the box and have a shot. Luckily for the Eddies, he scuffed it a bit and put it right at man Van Oekel.
Forbes on the left wing. Cuts inside. He's got Cummings just ahead of him. Another good stop with the legs by Matt Van Oekel. Soto was calling for the ball on the right wing, but Cummings is always going to go for goal from there. Van Oekel again making a save.
Matt Van Oekel's been very, very good in the first 35 minutes. That's 2 on Omar Cummings. And Omar Cummings does the right thing here. He's the top scorer in this team. He's got to take that shot. Matt Van Oekel knows it too. He came well off his line. Try to take away as much of the angle as possible. But warning signs, the Eddies have just given Omar Cummings too much space.
Jalali on the edge of the penalty area. Did well to get the ball away to Edward, and referee perhaps could have played the advantage, but the whistle has gone for an FC Edmonton free kick.
But definitely the warning signs have been there in terms of Omar Cummings getting free and finding dead spaces behind the defenders and being able to run into them and create real problems. And some of the Eddies are going to need to look at halftime, because this is you can't give them that many chances, because sooner or later they're going to go in.
Boakai just finding space and trying to thread that one through for Lang, intercepted well by Chavez. Poor pass out of defense there, but Edwards stands on the ball, and the opportunity lost for FC Edmonton to capitalize on that mistake as well. Nice turn by Elizondo, but a good charge down by Granito there. Jalali with possession for FC Edmonton, playing it wide to the left, looking for Lang. Lang keeps it in. It's an up and under. Nice control by Jalali, but that one charged away from him by Can. Throw in for the Eddies.
You'll see in the midfield, if a San Antonio player has to turn back towards his own goal to receive a pass, there are at least 2 white jerseys on that player right away. They're really trying to take away that time, that ability to turn and make a decision. They really want to rush San Antonio, try to speed along their game. And that's why I think San Antonio's been able to find a couple of gaps, is because Edmonton has committed so many men to pressuring the ball.
Good chance here for Lang on the left-hand side. Another nice ball over the top by Milan Roberts. Lang's cross a little bit short, though, and headed away by Atakora. Roberts has looked for that pass down the channel now a couple of times. Smith playing the ball back to Milan Roberts here from the throw-in. Promising build-up here for FC Edmonton. Granito playing the ball to Boakai, gets tugged from behind, but still gets the pass away. Edward will move out to the right-hand side. He'll win a free kick for FC Edmonton, taken down by Elizondo.
Question is this too far out? We're about, what, 35 yards? Is this too far out for Lance Lang to have a go?
Lang doesn't look like he's approaching the ball at the moment, choosing to stick out on this touchline, perhaps hoping for a pass.
Nope, this is going to be Granito, I think, standing on this. So there's the answer to the question.
Granito playing well in this match as well. Composed to play. He's going to drive one and at the range on it, but it's gone over the top and doesn't trouble sadly.
The Eddies, while we talked about their problems in the back in terms of having the highest goals against, they're the 2nd highest scoring team in the league. A lot of it had to do with Lance Lang, Tomi Amiobi, who's hurt right now, but they certainly did a lot to jumpstart this offense. And a team that historically hadn't been near the top of the scoring charts really surprised a lot of people. And that's one part of the game you hope they keep up. It's the goals against they need to fix up.
Cummings inside the penalty area. He's ridden 2 challenges. There's the cut back, and Soto off the post. Great chance for San Antonio. Van Oekel was beaten that time. He was appealing for offside, but it was cut back nicely from Cummings. Soto went to place it into the corner, and it bounced off the post. The corner's been taken quickly, and up comes the cross to the far post. All the way through to Soto, who had that shot, hitting the outside of the post. Lang stolen possession here, and Boakai would have been away had Lang just got a bit more power on that pass.
I think that had that ball gone in, it would have been called offside because it went through Cesar Elizondo's legs, and he was in an offside position. And you can't play a ball like that. You're interfering with play, even though you don't touch it. That's by the, and it is a judgment call on the official, but most times they're going to call that, saying that you obstructed the goalkeeper's vision, or you dummied the ball like you were going to play it. And if you do that, and you play the ball through your legs, and you're in offside position, I think the flag would have gone up had that ball gone in the goal. I mean, that's just my opinion and interpretation of the rule, but you don't have to touch it to be offside. It's a misinterpretation a lot of people have with the rule book. If you make an attempt to play the ball, in that case, the Soto shot went through Elizondo's legs.
Here's Elizondo with a shooting chance, and he's drilled that one wide of the post. And FC Edmonton still lead by 1-0, and we are 6 minutes from half-time in Fort McMurray.
But whether it would have been called offside or not, and here we have a look at Elizondo having a shot here. But whether that play would have been called offside or not, that was created because Omar Cummings, again, had acres of space and time to square that ball back to Josue Soto. And we talked about Cummings and the space that he's had in this first half. And there was another example of San Antonio's most dangerous forward being just allowed way too much liberty and time to make decisions on the ball. And sooner or later, that's going to burn you.
Cummings definitely been another threat for San Antonio this afternoon against FC Edmonton. That might be something that will be discussed in the halftime team talk. Lang tried to play the 1-2 there with Granito, but was taken down late by Chavez. He might need a bit of treatment here. Referee having a word with Chavez. The Eddie's players suggesting that perhaps was worthy of a yellow card as well, but I think the referee probably getting that right, just having a word with Chavez, and a free kick for FC Edmonton. Colin Miller a little concerned as well. He's having a discussion with the fourth official down on the touchline just beneath us here. We're 5 minutes from halftime. Lang taking the free kick and just playing it to Roberts, who's drilled a nice crossfield pass to the right wing. It's going to drop for Jalali. Finds Edward. Edward again in midfield. Jalali has found some space. Clever player doing that. He's threaded a nice ball through there. Almost picked out Noni, charging down on goal. Watson playing the forward ball. Noni was in an offside position. It'll drop for Watson again. Edward deciding to just slow things down a bit, and it goes all the way back for Van Oekel. Long ball forward that Dero heads away, but Jalali's one possession back for FC Edmonton. Zeeby coming forward in the right back position to take Granito's pass. Granito making a break forward. Now Boakai. Boakai taking it right to the corner flag and winning a throw-in for FC Edmonton. Good break there down the right wing.
Some young players have stepped up today, I think, so far for FC Edmonton.
And Zeeby's done well there again and won a corner kick. Yeah, when you look at who have come through the ranks today, there would be Zeeby, Roberts, Boakai, and Jalali.
I think Jalali's had a fantastic game. You can say, okay, Sattler made a save on the one chance, and then he had another one that he blasted wide, but the penalty was a play that he set up with a great pass, and he's really moved the ball around. We've seen him out in the left wing. We've seen him down the middle. We've seen him going to get the ball. He's not just being static out there. He's really been all over the place and been a real problem.
Lang's corner, it's a good one too. It's bouncing up in there. Driven away with some conviction there, but drops to Edward. Edward with the up and under, back through. Watson over the top. Jalali's chasing that one, but that will be easy for Sattler. We're going to play 1 added minute after the 45 is up here in stoppages. When you consider 4 players coming through the ranks, that's an impressive statistic that any team in the North American Soccer League would like. But good news for FC Edmonton to see the youngsters doing so well today.
And again, I think a lot of nod there has to go to Jeff Paulus, the academy, and the work that they've done, bringing up some young Edmonton players. You know, I think Colin Miller has taken some criticism in the past because of some of the roster decisions he's made about somehow being not pro-Edmonton. But then you look at the players they brought up, and you're saying, look at the young Edmontonians on this team. Not just Canadian players, but local players.
Duro pulled from behind there. Good strong break from him. Chasing from the left back spot and winning a free kick for his team. Michael Noni just coming from behind there, pulling the shirt. And that's a very clear decision. Referee moving the wall back 10 yards. It's going to be Castillo. Seems to orchestrate all of these set pieces for San Antonio, and they've got all the big boys forward now. And that's what he's played for, the ball to the far post, but very good defensive play by Milan Roberts there. Flicks the header out for a corner. Eddie's with a 1-0 lead. We're approaching the last minute of the first half. Chavez's ball is short, headed away at the near post. Not the best corner. Soto, he'll get another chance. Charged down by Lang. They're appealing for it being a handball, but the referee doesn't want anything to do with that. Nice play by Jalali. He might get the ball back there from Boakai, but good defensive cover by Soto, watching that one all the way and denying Jalali a clear run at goal.
And again, Jalali causing problems, forcing San Antonio into a rather panicked clearance.
Very good first half by Sadi Jalali. And it's been difficult to mark. He's just dropped off the back 4 at times and found space. And there he is again, ready to receive the pass in the middle of the park. And here he is now, wearing the number 9, but he'll switch a ball to the left wing. Lovely play. He's picked out Lang. Lang's put a cross into the far post. And the goalkeeper juggles it for a little bit, gets bumped by Granito. But good hands.
But again, we're talking about the understanding of a young player and the football smarts. You see Granito and Noni both going up for Lang's cross. Jalali hangs back and takes that midfield spot, understanding that if San Antonio wins that ball, he's got to be there with a defensive responsibility.
Very good first half by FC Edmonton, a rejig team, 4 youngsters playing today. One of them on the score sheet, Sadi Jalali. His penalty kick, the difference between the teams at half-time. FC Edmonton with a 1-0 lead at the break. Jalali's penalty took it with poise, and that was at the end of a good link-up between him and Lance Lang, who's also, as ever, been very dangerous for FC Edmonton this afternoon.
The one warning sign would be, as we talked about in the first half, is Omar Cummings had 2 or 3 very, very good looks at goal for San Antonio. And Edmonton's got to do a better job of minding the store, especially when Mr. Cummings has the ball on his feet or if he's running onto the ball. He did find some space behind, and Matt Van Oekel deserves credit for a couple of very, very good saves.
We will bring you both coaches at halftime to hear the thoughts of Alan Marcina and FC Edmonton's Colin Miller. This is what he wanted to see, a goal for Sadi Jalali. First of all, for confidence for his young player, but as well, the performance has been a very good one by Jalali. Definitely an interesting second half But we are going to speak to the San Antonio coach at halftime, Alan Marcina, with Steve.
Coach, interesting first half. You had a couple of really good looks at goal and didn't get those chances with Omar Cummings.
Yeah, we're unfortunate. Thought we were the better team of the half. You know, to go down that early, a bit unfortunate. It is what it is. The guys did well to fight back, created a number of opportunities. We've got to start burying our opportunities. It's could already been up 2 or 3 goals in the first half.
What did you think of the penalty call early in the game?
It's not my decision to make. Obviously, it can change the game a bit. My guys played fantastic. We're the better team, created the better opportunities. We just got to do an improved job on finishing them.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Alan Marcina joining us at pitch side, feeling like his team played well in that first half, but are behind 1-0 to FC Edmonton. Saudi Jalali's penalty kick, and there were other chances for the Eddies as well to get goals. Let's hear what the coach, Colin Miller, feels about his team's performance in that first half. Colin, thanks for joining us. What impressed you most about the way your team played in that first 45 minutes?
I thought the attitude was great, Gareth, and I don't want to keep going over the fact of how many players that are not playing, but goodness me, the attitude was fantastic at times in the first half. We did so well to win the ball back and then just gave it away too easy again. So we have to be better in possession. We've now moved Hansen up as a striker, and it's caused them 1 or 2 little problems. Sadi's done very well since he's gone into the middle of the park. We need to get Lance Lang on the ball here much more than we have done in the first half, because that's our way out for sure. We need more from Lance. We need more from Michael Noni in those wide areas. He's flopping and diving, and he's going down like a wet fish here. So he's going to get the belt at half time, because I want them to stand on their feet and play. We're looking for fouls at the moment, and it's cost us a couple of counter-attacks against us. So, but all in all, we've created some chances. Big Matt Van Okel's played well for us in the first half there, made some good saves. But I think it's been more of us causing ourselves our own problems, Gareth, rather than San Antonio carving us up here. So we have to be cleaner in possession. I'm a wee bit unhappy with Milan Roberts at the moment. He's just a wee bit casual at times and not aware, as the team is pushing up, of what's going on round about him. He's just been a little bit casual getting to the ball. So we'll address these things at half time. We don't have much to choose from on the bench at the moment. We've maybe got the last 20 minutes in some of these players that are on the bench. So hopefully this group can get us through to that point, and then we'll throw in Saini and Thiago for sure.
Well done, Colin. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Colin Miller joining us at halftime. Very pleased with his team in the lead at halftime, and happy with the way his young players are performing here in Fort McMurray today at Shell Place. The Eddies leading 1-0 at halftime.
Luckily, Jean Segura only suffered a nasty cut. Last year, Canadian Mattingly Romanin suffered a concussion after being kicked in the face by a skydiver. In 2007, French long jumper Salim Sediri was struck by a javelin as he prepared to jump. The man who hit him went on to win. During a spring training game in 2001, an unlucky bird met up with a Randy Johnson fastball. We knew cheerleading was tough, but not this tough.
Welcome back to Fort McMurray, Shell Place. FC Edmonton ahead on SMS Equipment Field at halftime against the San Antonio Scorpions. Welcome to our halftime show, brought to you by Oodle Noodle. And let's take a look back at the highlights from the first half. Well, a very early goal for FC Edmonton. Lang going down in the box. Jalali making no mistake from the penalty.
Yeah, just a great take. After a great through ball to Lance Lang, drew the penalty.
Chance at the other end for Cummings, but Van Okel in good form for the Eddies today.
And there we saw Milan Roberts and Albert Watson. He caught up the field. And then Jalali in alone, forcing Daryl Sattler into a very good save.
Van Okel saving with his feet that time. And then Soto off the post, the closest San Antonio came to a goal in that first half. The game evenly poised in Fort McMurray. FC Edmonton against San Antonio. The Eddies leading 1-0. The second half is coming up next. Welcome back to Fort McMurray, Northern Alberta, 400 kilometers north of Edmonton. The Eddies in action today, playing a home game because of the Women's World Cup wrapping up in Alberta's capital city, Edmonton. And the Eddies with a 1-0 lead at halftime. We're underway in the second half. No changes made at halftime for either of the squads. And FC Edmonton have a free kick attacking the goal to our right. On the right wing, ZB playing there today, and playing well too. Into the midfield, and Jalali. He's dropped a little bit short this half, and Boakai moving up front. Colin Miller talking about that tactical change. He feels like Boakai is causing all kinds of problems towards the end of the first half in a more advanced role for the Eddies. Roberts winning a header there. We know that he was going to get a bit of a talking to at half-time. Colin Miller feeling he was a touch casual at times. Zeeby here on the right-hand side, coming away with the ball, finding Boakai, sidesteps one player, still going. He's so slippery to mark, and he's brought down somewhat cynically there by Duro. Free kick for FC Edmonton.
Yeah, just dancing there a little bit, dangling the ball along the sideline, but that started with Alan Zeeby just basically ripping the ball away from Billy Forbes. They are both battling for the ball, and Zeeby on all fours just refused to give up on that ball and just ripped it away, and then got that ball up to Boakai, and just some hard work by Zeeby in that case to give Edmonton possession back.
Brunito takes it on the thigh, looked for the outside of his foot, pass in towards Jalali, but it didn't quite work out. Watson looking for Jalali again there. He's taken out of the play by Atakora, but there's a chance on the left wing for Lang here. Colin Miller wanted to see him on the ball more. Lang putting in the cross to the near post, didn't quite have the power on the ball, and it's Soto in possession for San Antonio. Trying to play their way out of trouble right on the edge of the penalty area, but Nane's made a very good break forward. And look at that ball to the right wing, and Elizondo chasing in towards goal here onto his right foot. Very good tackle by Roberts. Drops for Soto, that's charged down as well. Some frantic defending at the back after a quick break out from Nane by San Antonio.
Eddie Edward with that second block after Milan Roberts had the initial block of the cross.
Offside given there as Nane tried to play Billy Forbes in. Free kick given for FC Edmonton. Very important game this, with New York Cosmos having already secured a playoff spot. Only 3 of them left. And FC Edmonton don't want to get further behind. This is a very important 1-0 lead they've got at the moment against San Antonio.
The one thing, though, with the Cosmos winning the spring season, Colin Miller said this to me during the break in between the hiatus, or in the hiatus between the 2 seasons, is that they no longer really have to worry about the Cosmos anymore, except when they play them. That otherwise, they're done. They're in. That they have to beat the other teams in NASL. They have to get to that top 4 ranking so they can get to a postseason spot. And make no mistake, we talk about a fresh start and such, but Colin Miller has long said he looks at this as a 30-game season, and that he looks at them that they're 5 points out of 4th place right now, and 5 points out of a postseason spot.
Forbes looking to get it on his left foot, looking for the handball. Referee wants nothing to do with that. Usually Rudolph, and it's Michael Noni bringing the ball out of defense. Now Granito. He's looking to play in Lang over the left-hand side. Will Lang get there? Yes, he will. Good ball forward, and Lang trying to get him behind the back. Very well played by Chavez. Good tackle, and he gets the ball up to Soto. Soto poking that one through for Cummings. Cummings trying to go around Watson. Cuts it back to the edge of the penalty area. Zeeby comes in to cover that one, and Granito finding Sadi Jalali. Not often Jalali's given the ball away at all in this match. He picks out the pass to Lang there. Lang's in fact the one who squanders possession, and it's picked up by Elizondo. Edge of the penalty area, chance here for Forbes. Forbes onto his left foot, and he's dragged it wide of the upright. And that's one of the best chances for San Antonio so far. And that came from Lang giving the ball away.
Absolutely, and then Forbes actually off his foot. I thought that might be in. I thought that might go off the inside of the post and be all right for San Antonio. But it just screwballed just wide of the goal. And Edmonton, that's a let-off. It's another let-off. There's been a few in this game. And we talked about Omar Cummings in the first half and some of the chances he had. Billy Forbes, a guy that's burned Edmonton many times in the past, has a great look at goal. And by maybe the width of a few inches, FC Edmonton get away with it.
Well, one of the things Colin Miller talked about at halftime was, although he was on the whole pleased with the performance, sometimes his players were giving the ball away far too easily, and that's what happened there with Lance Lang. But instead of being punished, it was a let-off for the Eddies.
But Forbes, he just lurks way wide, almost right on the sideline. Just almost that you forget that he's out there. And then he comes in and jumps into the play.
Lang on the left wing, trying to make something happen for FC Edmonton, right down by the corner flag there. It's going to be a throw-in, very deep position for San Antonio. Billy Forbes again on his left foot. Has to go around ZB. Stands on the ball there. Still going. Here's Soto. Switches play all the way to the right wing. Good tackle by Johan Smith there, winning the ball back for the Eddies. Boakai on the right wing.
Keep the ball.
You hear Colin Miller yelling, "Keep the ball."
Can you see again?
I think in reference to something we were just talking about a couple minutes ago about the giveaways.
Lang trying to slide it through past Fanoni, who made the break in from the right, but that one's intercepted. Duro bringing it away for San Antonio. Billy Forbes again. He's got Duro overlapping on the left. First time cross into the penalty box, and big defensive header away by Milan Roberts. Happy to concede the corner in that kind of situation.
Elizondo was streaking in there. Roberts does have the height and size advantage. Got position, got goal side, and was able to get that away.
Corner kick for Rafael Castillo. Van Oekel getting a hand on it. The flag, the whistle had already gone. The flag was up prior to the ball ending up in the back of the net. That won't count. Free kick for the Eddies.
Choose Matt Van Oekel got his hand on it. I don't know if that was if there was someone going to be in an offside position or called a foul there. Linesman's flag was up and waving, so. Take a look. Van Oekel does get touch onto it.
Powerful header forward by Can. Forbes tackled by Zeeby.
So there was an Edmonton player standing on the line, so it could not have been offside. He must have called a foul. There was no way anyone could be with Matt Van Oekel so far back in his goal. Matt Van Oekel was right back in his goal, and there was an Edmonton player standing on the goal line. That means you have your two players back there. And that means that would pretty well nullify any chance of anything being offside. So you would have to be foul.
Can bringing the ball forward, finding Duro.
I just got confirmation that it was called offside. That's a curious call. I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't looking at that, I just don't see how San Antonio player could have been offside when there's a Edmonton player so far back on the line, and Matt Van Oekel palms the ball from basically his own goal line.
Great break forward by Zevi again. He's got Noni and Boakai in support. Now Jalali pulling the strings from the midfield in this half. Granito moving it along. It's Lang with Smith. Good controlled possession here for FC Edmonton. Jalali just leaving that one a bit short, and Soto getting San Antonio back on the offensive. Cummings cutting in from the left-hand side, tackled by Watson. Very good play by Watson. I thought so, but the referee felt it was a free kick. And this is a very good position where someone like Castillo could have a shot at goal.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Castillo's going to have a pop from here. Maybe about 23, 24 yards. Yeah, actually, you can see the ghosting of the football line, so I can tell you that it is about 26 yards from the goal line. There was a CFL game here last week. The Edmonton Eskimos played the Toronto Argonauts, and they did clear off the lines, but there's a little bit of ghosting left. Barely recognizable, but you can see them from here. So I can say it's 26 yards for sure.
Castillo and Chavez. Chavez right-footed. It's a good effort. Just seems to shave the goalpost. Whizzing by the stanchion there. And FC Edmonton can breathe again. Still 1-0.
If that would have been on goal, there was no chance that Van Oekel was going to get to it. And we're going to have a look here. There are two FC Edmonton players on the goal line. If that's offside on the linesman has the flag. The linesman's got to be calling for a foul there. There's no way that's offside. There's two players standing on the goal line. It's impossible to be offside when there's two players standing on the goal line, defensive players.
San Antonio might be questioning a couple of the refereeing decisions in this game, not least the penalty kick as well that Sadi Jalali scored in the second minute for FC Edmonton to go in front. The only goal of the match so far that's counted, and we have played nearly an hour in Fort McMurray.
Yeah, it must have been something else. It must have sought a push or something that the linesman detected.
Although from that replay, it's hard to see any push as well.
It's difficult. The only argument FC Edmonton can have is that the whistle had clearly gone before Can had put the ball in the net.
The whistle definitely had gone
so
before
Matt,
that.
you could claim that they'd stopped playing, or Matt Van Oekel had stopped trying to play the ball. But at the same time, you're San Antonio. You're saying we have a clear scoring chance inside the box. That's a tough one.
Van Oekel clears from the goal kick. Free kick given to the Eddies this time. Eddie Edward going down under the challenge against Elizondo. It's a genuine attempt for the ball. San Antonio a little frustrated, their players out there, understandably so. They trail 1-0 to FC Edmonton. That's going to be easy for Sattler. He kicks out of his hands first time, looking for the run over the top. Watson puts that one into touch. Not just the stadium here in this development at McDonald Island Park in Fort McMurray. There are 3 hockey rinks. The main arena opened in 2009. And then there's an aquatic center, 2 field houses, and an adjoining golf course as well.
I think there's a baseball diamond in here somewhere too.
Yeah, just the other side of this stadium. Granito firing in a shot, not too much power in it. That's easy for Sattler.
Needs a cricket oval.
Forbes making the break forward there, prodding that one through, looking for Cummings. It's too far and picked up by Van Oekel.
Elizondo and Billy Forbes having a little bit of discussion about who should be running and who should be holding back to play that ball. A little bit of miscommunication on that last ball that went in touch.
Matt Van Oekel made a couple of good saves in that first half for the Eddies. Got some good clearance on that one. Boakai, lovely control, kills it dead first time. Here he is again in possession. Not the best ball by Watson, but Edward turns it around the corner first time, picks out Zeeby. Zeeby charging forward. Looks for the nutmeg and charges into the penalty area. Good presence by Duro to get back and make that interception. Zeeby looked very dangerous for a moment there for the Eddies, coming forward from the back.
Elizondo with that little nod of a header that they've worked before to free Omar Cummings, and Omar Cummings was back helping out the defending duties. That little play by Zeeby, that aggressive play to try to make something happen, and boy, has he been impressive since coming up from the academy and since coming into this lineup.
He's going to have to come across and make a tackle there, and again, it's impeccable timing, and he really has looked good as he makes that challenge against Billy Forbes. And playing against Forbes today, that's a real challenge. That one definitely looked like a foul throw. That's not given either, and it's Boakai who brings the ball away.
I said, Gareth, you're going to start wanting pass interference on every call, and you're going to start wanting like traveling in the NBA too with the foul throws. Oh, I've seen them just dropped, where like literally just dropped, and I've seen it in the Premiership, where I'm saying, wow, that's nowhere near a legal throw.
Elizondo picking out Forbes into the penalty area. Forbes twisting and turning. He's still got possession. So dangerous. Goes down under the challenge, but look at that. He still manages to flick the ball over the top. In the end, though, the free kick given to FC Edmonton. Just such determination there by Forbes, and even when he's gone to ground here, look at that. Lang just gets away from his marker. Look for the through ball to Noni, who is making the break. It's Nane, though, bringing the ball forward. Now Elizondo. Nane's continued his run. Here he is into the penalty area. Maybe look for the first-time lob. Van Oekel's a big lad, though, and that one he claims without too much of an issue.
San Antonio did a much better job shutting the door on the Eddies when they tried to counterattack in this half than they did in the first half. We saw Saudi Jalali spring free a couple of times in the first half. We haven't seen really anyone. We've seen some runs, but San Antonio's cut them off before they got to their intended target. Lang's tried a couple of through balls.
Jalali winning a free kick there, brought down by Nane, and Watson, the Eddie skipper, will take it.
See the fouls, 12-7, San Antonio. But again, going back to that, I think it had to have been a foul called on that free kick. That would be the one in 12 that I think they might have the most issue with, maybe even more so than the penalty.
Oh, that deflects off Boakai. Noni's got a chance to run at goal here. He's brought down. There's no question about that one.
And sending off, though. This is the question, is it? And Nana Adekora is going right to the lines, and the referee's going to his pocket. I think Nana Adekora is going to go for a walk. I think that's going to be it.
It's a red card for Adekora.
And Adekora is furious. And he went right to the linesman, and he was right in the linesman's face, because the linesman was the one that waved the call. Take a look here. The arms are on the shoulders, though, and I think he's saying, okay, Michael Noni took a dive, but the arms are on the shoulders.
Well, the other discussion is, was the actual initial contact in or outside the box?
I think he's pointing to the spot.
Nana Atakora has been sent off in this match in the 65th minute. And FC Edmonton have a chance to double their lead here. The referee trying to pull the San Antonio players away from the linesman. There's still some bickering going on down there.
We'll have a look here. Noni's definitely free here. The ball came off Boakai. The arms go on the shoulder. It's outside the box, though. It's clearly outside the box. That's where the referee has it. Do I think it's a foul? Yes. Is he the last man back, or is it a professional foul stops the goal scoring opportunity? Yes. Is it a penalty kick? No. He's actually a good couple of yards outside the box when that's called. So while I think the sending off is justified, Nana Atakora is even pleading his case to Colin Miller. Obviously, they know each other from the Canadian national program.
Now, it looks like Lang is going to take this penalty. Jalali initially had the ball. He took the first one and scored from the spot, but Lang took it away from him. Perhaps the strategy here to go with a different kicker. The referee, though, still hasn't settled things down and wants Elizondo to leave his assistant there, who on the touchline was also waving the flag for the penalty kick, but unquestionably the initial contact outside of the penalty area.
It was actually well outside the penalty area, too. I know I've had this discussion with people sometimes when it's right on the white. We've had that a couple of situations, the Women's World Cup, where I said, look, unless you get instant replay in the game, that's really hard for the referee to tell if you're just outside the white line or not. I think we saw a call like that between the United States and Germany. But in this case, he was well outside the area. He was well outside the area. It's a couple of paces.
It's Lance Lang versus Sattler. And Lang just drills it straight into the back of the net. And that is 2-0 for FC Edmonton. 2 penalty kicks, both of them expertly taken. Sattler then kicks the ball against Lang. He's losing his patience, doesn't want all the celebrations to happen. The referee's going to have to sort that one out as well, but no stopping the penalty kick. And it's a red card as well for Sattler. This is really turning into a firestorm of a match. 2 red cards in 2 minutes. And they're going to have to now make a substitution to bring on a goalkeeper, because that's the red card, and you have to say that was a little silly. Just kicks the ball out of his hands against Lance Lang, who was celebrating scoring the penalty kick.
Yeah, it's frustration. You can't allow that. You're frustrated with the referee, and we've looked at it. The foul definitely happened outside the box. Now the argument being, was it a foul in the first case? Atakora's arms, to me, that's more of a foul than the first one that Edmonton got the first kick on, which happened in the box. But I thought, okay, was there any contact there? But I think, it piles up, and I understand the San Antonio. They go back to the corner where they had the great scoring chance and actually had the ball in the net. And I think they're wondering why the whistle went. And we're still trying to figure that out a little bit. And now you have this. Does Atakora foul Noni? I think so. Is it a professional foul that prevents a scoring opportunity? I think so. Is it a penalty kick? Absolutely not. But they go to the spot anyways, because that foul happened well outside the area. So I can understand San Antonio's frustration, but at the same time, you lose your cool like this. Now you're down to 9 men, and you lose your keeper for the next game, and you lose Nana Atakora for the next game. And that, while that was a foul and not a frustration play, you now reverberate through your season.
Here's the penalty. Beautifully taken. You can't really hit a ball harder than that, I don't think, from Lance Lang. Sweet strike straight down the middle of the goal. Not often those get stopped. Julius James is going to, looks like he might be coming on.
Yeah, because they're going to have to reposition. Yeah. Kicks it where Boakai and Lang are celebrating, and the keeper just drills the ball right at them. I know you're frustrated, but that's just something you can't do. And Adrian Can still talking to the referee.
Next home game for FC Edmonton against the Atlanta Silverbacks. July 26th, back at Edmonton, Clark Stadium, 2 p.m. You can get tickets at fcedmonton.com. Substitution coming up for San Antonio Scorpions. And this substitution is brought to you by The Helm, Edmonton's premium men's clothing boutique. Soto coming off and being replaced by Julius James.
You know, there was a game in San Antonio, I think last year, where Edmonton was down to 9 men. Always something happens when these two teams play.
Now, there's another substitution that has to take place as well, because they've got to bring on a goalkeeper here.
I think Billy Forbes is going to come off, so I think it's Forbes is off. And I think this is now a case where Alan Marcy trying to protect some players for next week. His team is hot. Like, they're still talking to the referee. They're furious, and this is now a situation where you're down to 9 men, and you're saying to yourself, if you're the coach, look, I've got to protect guys. I've got to think now about the season. I'm not thinking about this game. I have to think, all right, Edmonton's got 11 men on the field. We've got 9. We're down 2 goals. We have to think now about next week and the week after and suspensions. But again, you know, refereeing in this league is going to be discussed. And in this case, we're going to have to just look at some of these decisions that have been made today. And Atacora, whether you think it's a foul or not, it clearly happens outside the box. And we have a number 0 goal for San Antonio, John Kempin, even though he's listed as not on the trip. So we're a little bit confused up here ourselves.
Noni, who won that penalty kick, shuffles the pass to Boakai. Boakai taking it around 1 man, but can't get past Nane. San Antonio playing with 9 men. It's going to be an awfully difficult last 20 minutes or so with their players. FC Edmonton now will just try and keep possession and make it difficult for the Scorpions.
Good. Manage it.
Penalty kicks for Lance Lang and for Sadi Jalali.
Manage the ball. Manage the ball. Lively, Ali, get her shape again. Alan John.
And that Lance Lang FC Edmonton goal is another meal for families at the Ronald McDonald House of Northern Alberta, courtesy of Pastor Andrew. Zeeby pushing it down the line. Noni goes around Can and opens up again for FC Edmonton here. Edge of the box, it's Edward playing the pass to Boakai. Boakai kicks it into the net, and he scored a goal for FC Edmonton. That's number 3. He'd gone down under the tackle, but still managed to wrap his left foot around the ball. And it's 3-0 for the Eddies.
Boakai was down and still had a lash at the ball and gets his I believe his first NASL goal. He scored in the Canadian Championship, but I think league-wise that's his number 1. And we talked about the young players coming to the forefront, and they have today. They really have taken this opportunity. And I think, if anything, Colin Miller's got some decisions to make when the veterans get healthy. Look at this. Adrian Ken, he's gone down, and good for Boakai. He kept playing. He didn't just look towards the referee. He kept playing. He said, look, I've gone down, and I'm going to keep playing.
We're going to have some more substitutions here for FC Edmonton.
Oh, and San Antonio just kicked the ball. They just kicked the ball into the stands instead of kicking it out.
Yeah, the frustration levels now for San Antonio are not controllable.
Is that Chavez? Yeah.
Yellow card for Chavez.
And again, yellow cards add up too over time with discipline. And if you get a yellow card now for thumping a ball into the stands, when you've picked up on accumulation a few yellow cards on legitimate hard fouls, but plays that you're trying to actually stop scoring chances, you might get suspended. You get that 1 extra because you thumped the ball into the crowd.
That's Boakai's last kick of the match. He's replaced by Niasi, and we're going to see Tiago De Freitas, and he will replace Michael Noni. The substitutions brought to you by The Helm, Edmonton's premium men's clothing boutique.
And Thiago was coming into the game, making his FC Edmonton debut. He's played in Israel. I think he's played in Hungary, played in Greece. So he's a well-traveled player, but a lot of experience. And Colin Miller likes him quite a bit. Tweaked his hamstring a bit after they acquired him. With the way FC Edmonton have been going, same old story, but
gets his first touch on the ball. All kinds of space for Zeeby on the right wing here. Got him back to Jalali just over the top. Looking for goal number 4. But it goes over.
It's the shooting gallery now. The amount of space out there for FC Edmonton. It's a cool business too. I'm sure FC Edmonton would like a couple more goals because goal difference could mean something down the road. It could also mean something to San Antonio season as well if it comes down to a postseason spot.
Now that next home game for FC Edmonton, we just mentioned to you, against Atlanta, there will also be a game that's going to be called the Woodall Cup. That's in honor of the Edmonton police officer Daniel Woodall, who was shot and killed. And that's a 10 a.m. kickoff that morning, the same day. And that'll be a team of British expatriate players, where Daniel Woodall is from, in Manchester, against a team from the Edmonton Police Service, the Woodall Cup, happening that day, just before the Silverbacks game for the Eddies. Freitas looking pretty good early on in his FC Edmonton career, winning a free kick.
It's Castillo who got the call, but I think you mentioned about Daniel Woodall. It's a tragic situation that happens. Edmonton police officer who was killed in the line of duty, but great by the community to remember him in a way that in a sport that he loves.
Yeah, loved football, was apparently a big Arsenal fan, even though he was from Manchester.
Well, you know, you're right some of the time.
Substitution for FC Edmonton, number 22,
An FC Edmonton goal by Hanson Boakai. There's another meal for families at the Ronald McDonald House in Northern Alberta, courtesy of Hester Pension.
number 14, Sidney Riassi is in.
Niasi's free kick all the way to the left wing. It's good dogged determination by Chavez, who's got on the end of that one, and they do have men in the penalty area here. Cross coming in towards Cummings, but it'll be picked up by Matt Van Oekel.
But yeah, as a final point, if you can make it out July 26th to see both games, but come out early, support a great cause, support the memory of a police officer in the city, and I think it's a great thing that the community's done to pull this together, and FC Edmonton to support it.
Move the ball. Up, up. Line up, boys, up. Tempo. Keep playing.
Sounds like Arsenal are actually sending over their jerseys for the match. They'll be home and away colours. They've been contacted by the organisers, so that's a very nice touch from Arsenal.
Give it early, Tommy.
Elizondo winning the ball back for San Antonio here, and now Nane. Last 10 minutes now, Eddie's 3-0 up. Making a break through the middle there is Lang. And it might still drop for Lance Lang on the edge of the penalty area. Free kick, in fact, in the end, given against him. Well, blocked by Niassi. Just ahead of him is Jalali. Here is Sadi Jalali. Goes down under the challenge on the edge of the penalty area and wins a free kick for FC Edmonton.
And Castillo's lost the plot a little bit. I know he's frustrated, but throwing the ball after that call just going to earn him a booking.
Teammate trying to talk to him to calm him down a little bit there.
It's Omar Cummings just trying to say, look.
It's not helping.
No.
San Antonio with 9 men, having had Atakora and Sattler both sent off.
Do not bring me into this here. You fucking dealt with the wrong one there.
Free kick here, Lance Lang. You've got to think that he'll be the man to take this one. After this, he'll be on his way to the Gold Cup. Already scored from the penalty spot today. This would look good to end this game on a high note for him. It's perfect for his shape, but Granito's also standing over the ball. He's already fizzed one just over the top from the free kick.
I just wonder if they did it.
Oh, Lang's gone for the far corner, and that is a beauty. What a strike from Lance Lang. Pace, power, got the curl, and he hits it into the stanchion. It's 4-0.
He's supposed to put an exclamation mark before he gets on a plane to head to LA. And that's why he's a big part of this Gold Cup roster for Jamaica, folks. We've seen this a lot this year. That kind of free kick taking from Lance Lang, that kind of dead ball precision. And again, this is the player that you come out to watch. This is the player that you pay the money to see. Definitely one of the stars of this league. And you know, if there's an MVP vote taken today, I don't know if he wins it, but he's definitely top 3.
What a goal. 4-0, the Eddies lead. 2 from Lang, 2 set pieces, 1 penalty kick, 1 free kick. Both of them hit beautifully. Struck so sweetly. And they'll miss him when he's gone.
Well, Colin Miller said he has to get Lance Lang more involved in the game.
Niassi's away on the right-hand side here. Gone all the way to the far post. Lang's on a hat-trick, taken away from him there. Good defensive covering.
Like, you get applause there for Niassi. Like the ball. Like the idea. San Antonio, you can see they're just walking now. This is a tired team. You're down to 9 men. You're chasing. You're frustrated.
Benito finding Jalali. Tackled from behind. Again, a free kick given to FC Edmonton.
This is almost going to be the same spot for Lance Lang. It's almost the exact same spot. So this is the question of, do you let him have it?
Elizondo arguing he got the ball. Referee, though, didn't hesitate there. Granito might fancy this one this time, but Lang is over the ball again.
I tell you, the John Kempen has got not such a nice welcome as the San Antonio backup keeper today. 2 goals in fairly quick succession. Maybe this will be Granito. And you know,
Right, it is, and he's gone for the other corner. It wasn't too far away.
it's Lance Lang being magnanimous, but at the same time, you know, they do have to understand he's gone for a couple of weeks, and they do need to get some other players worked in on these set pieces. They have to figure out who's going to be doing these things and taking set pieces when Lance Lang is gone. And it's a good attempt by Granito.
Struck it well.
I've seen him pop a couple in practices, and he can really fire the ball.
Elizondo wins a free kick, this time on the left-hand side for San Antonio. 4 down to FC Edmonton.
And 2 men down.
Elizondo offside. For that Lance Lang goal, another meal for families at the Ronald McDonald House of Northern Alberta, courtesy of Pasta Pantry. We're into the last 4 minutes in Fort McMurray. Been a good game for people in Fort Mac to watch here. 4 goals for the home team. Plenty of excitement. Lots of talking points in this match for people to discuss over the next few days. And a little added bonus for the fans today, because FC Edmonton scored in the 73rd minute. There's a free pizza for the fans, for everyone here, courtesy of Pizza 73. So not a bad day today for the Eddies supporters. You need to bring your ticket to exchange for the pizza, but if you've got one of those, free pizza.
For another home team, free pizza. Beautiful day here in Fort McMurray.
Stars have really aligned today.
Do we have any tickets?
I don't have one. We're being told it might not be a problem. Great day in Fort McMurray. 2 minutes to go. There will be a few stoppages for the red cards. That's a nice pass to the left wing by De Freitas. Lang chasing into the penalty area. He won't get to that one.
San Antonio have a very long flight home, and a lot of time for Coach Alan Marcino to think about how he's got to shuffle lineup for next week to deal with some of the suspensions he's got coming up.
That's going to be a free kick against Elizondo. FC Edmonton just playing out time now.
I guess 2 for San Antonio. That's at least three plane rides to get back home. One to Edmonton and one to connect somewhere else in the States. Well, they're saying there's going to be no added time. I think this is just, that's probably for the best.
Fans are relaying every pass now. And that's Cardone in goal. Just got a note from our friend Lincoln Rose in San Antonio. So the team list not quite right in front of us here in Fort McMurray today.
Yeah, he's got Kempen's jersey, the 0 jersey.
Niassi looking to break into the box here. Quick turn of pace and the cross into the area. Claimed easily by the goalkeeper. That's the last bit of action in the match today. An emphatic home victory in Fort McMurray by FC Edmonton. 4-0. 2 from Lang, a penalty kick from Sadi Jalali, and 1 from Hanson Boakai as well. Our post-game shows coming up next. A 4-0 win for FC Edmonton. Welcome back to Fort McMurray, where FC Edmonton have run out 4-0 winners against the San Antonio Scorpions today. Let's hear from the Scorpions coach, Alan Marcino, with Steve.
Coach, obviously a very frustrating second half for your team. What did you see out there in the second half?
I know, just got to do a better job finishing our chances.
Did you have a look at the call on Nana?
Yeah, it's not my choice to make. It's unfortunate, but refs make decisions. You know, we got to live with it. No excuses. They got the result. We didn't. Got to be better next week.
And obviously, you got some juggling to do for your next game with some of the suspensions you got coming up.
Yeah, we believe in our roster, so we'll be ready for our next game.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Alan Marcino joining us after his team's on the wrong end of a 4-0 hiding to FC Edmonton. We're going to hear from Coach Colin Miller and from the man of the match, Lance Lang, coming up as well. But what a day for people in Fort McMurray. First ever match played here by the Eddies, and banging in 4 goals, full of excitement. And let's hear from Coach Colin Miller. We talked to him before and at halftime. Colin, pretty much all the boxes have been ticked by your players today. Just tell us what stood out for you the most today.
I just think that, you know, I wanted character. You know, that there's guys in the team that haven't had regular 90 minutes in the team because of our injuries and Christian Radala's being suspended. So when I look at the group that aren't here in Fort Mac and the guys that have worked very hard to get back fit again, I'm actually very proud of the character that was shown here today. The guys stuck to task, and you know, we knew that if we kept our discipline, kept our shape, we gave it away, as I said, too often and too many times in the first half, needlessly. So we tidied that up, thankfully, in the second half. Of course, the decisions helped to change the game, but I thought they were all correct decisions, to be honest with you. The only thing I couldn't see was the penalty. Was it inside the box or not? I couldn't see, but it's a definite. He's the last guy through. Last guy defending. It looks a stonewall red card. So all in all, it's been a great day for us.
Just a word on the young players. 4 of them started today that have come through your academy. What about the progress and how important the academy is for FC Edmonton?
Yeah, it's a fantastic point, Gareth. I got criticised at the start when I first came to the club about releasing a lot of local players and so on. And now, what we have done at the time, we've had to tweak the organisation with the academy, back and forth, 1 or 2 different coaches coming in, and then we made the appointment of Jeff Paulus as the technical director of the academy, and he's done a fantastic job along with the rest of his staff. And you know, you're now starting to see the fruits of that. You know, that it's a very young group that's in our current academy, but there's some terrific potential in there. So when you see these lads here that have come out today and played, you know, Hansen was better in the second half. He got a wee bit more time. Took his goal very well. First half he was not great, but Alan Zeeby, you know, he's playing against a very, very good player, a very good winger, and I thought today he was, for me, one of the best players on the park from a defensive point of view. So when I see that, and I see the staff that we have, I see the quality of the players that we have, and of course the unbelievable support of Tom and Dave Fath, they deserve the gold medal for sure, because they've been absolutely fantastic. Without that, we have nothing.
Great stuff. Thanks very much, Colin.
Thank you very much.
Colin Miller, pretty happy there, to say the least, with 3 points and a 4-0 victory for FC Edmonton today. Well, the crowd in Fort McMurray, they certainly got to see some highlight reel goals. A couple of them from our man of the match, brought to you by The Helm, Edmonton's premium men's clothing boutique, where you can stop by and visit the owners, Chad and Brad, or online at thehelmclothing.com. We're going to bring you Lance when we can. There he is, actually getting a few selfies with the crowd, and why not? He's a bit of a local hero today in Fort McMurray. Let's bring you the save of the game in the meantime by Sterling Hose.
And this is going to be Matt Van Oekel off Omar Cummings very early in the game. And it was just 1-0 for FC Edmonton. Comes off his line, does very, very well.
Beautiful new stadium, and the players gracing it for the first time today. They'll be back the first weekend of August, where they'll be playing Ottawa, and certainly a nice setting for the players today. Let's talk to Lance Lang. Lance, thanks for joining us. Thanks. Pretty good way to go out with 2 goals for you. What impressed you most about the way your team played today?
The character, you know, that was the the main thing heading into this game. The coach asked the guys who stepped in to show character, and I think the guys that stepped in for the guys that has been injured has done a wonderful job today, and full credit to Colin and all the work he has done in the past couple of weeks.
Colin, Lance, it's another great free kick goal. We're having a look at your penalty right now, but another. How confident are you feeling on these free kicks? Because I think that's the third or fourth this year.
I mean, personally for me, it's all practice. I do a lot of reps in practice. I practice free kicks every time I get a chance, and everything you see I do in games, it's all practice. Nothing beats practice, and I won't stop. I hope to continue this season.
All right, well, great. We'll have a great time at Jamaica, and good luck.
All right, thank you very much, Steve.
Lance Lang, the man of the match today, brought to you by Helm Clothing. Now let's look at the upcoming schedule for the Eddies. Great start to the fall season, and the games are coming thick and fast this month and next. The 26th at home to Atlanta, that's at Clark Stadium. Back here in Fort McMurray on August the 2nd, again 2 p.m. kickoff at Shell Place, the SMS Equipment Stadium. And then Indy 11, and that's a August 5th game, midweek match, 7 p.m. at Clark.
Yeah, and then the Woodall Cup happening before the game against Atlanta. We talked about that. And then back to Fort McMurray, where they're 1-0 with a +4 goal difference.
Let's see how the Eddies look in the league standings after 3 points today. And makes a big difference. Look at that. Top of the table with 4 goals and none conceded. A clean sheet as well today for FC Edmonton.
They said ticked a lot of the boxes, didn't it? You know, whether we can talk about San Antonio going down to 9 men, but Edmonton did show some great character today, and some of those young players stepped up and said, "I want to be counted." Sadi Jalali, Hanson Boakai, Alan Zeeby. Fantastic job by these young players.
And the players signing autographs for the fans in Fort McMurray. The home fans couldn't really have asked for much more. 4 goals, some of them real highlight reel goals that I'm sure we'll be seeing replayed on sports shows across the country, especially the Lance Lang free kick. There's the skipper, Albert Watson. All in all, not a bad trip to Fort Mac for the Eddies.
No, a great trip, and 4 goals to the good, and I'm sure they're looking forward to coming back.
Thanks for joining our broadcast today. We've enjoyed being in Fort McMurray for the most northern match in CONCACAF history. And the Eddies winning 3 points with a 4-0 victory.